Some places in the world seem normal at first glance. They appear on maps, people travel through them, life continues as usual. But beneath the surface, something feels wrong. Across different countries and continents, there are locations where people have vanished repeatedly, without explanation, without evidence, and without resolution. These disappearances are not limited to one time period or one type of person. Travelers, children, soldiers, pilots, and entire communities have all been affected. In many of these places, searches were launched immediately. Authorities investigated thoroughly. Experts analyzed weather, terrain, and human behavior. Yet despite modern technology and decades of research, the same question remains unanswered. What happened? Cars are found abandoned. Campsites are left undisturbed. Personal belongings remain exactly where they were last placed. And then, nothing. No footprints leading away. No confirmed sightings. No bodies. What makes these locations especially disturbing is the pattern. One disappearance might be explained as an accident. Two could be coincidence. But when people vanish again and again in the same area, logic begins to fail. Some believe these places are dangerous due to natural conditions. Others suspect criminal activity, and a few argue that something far stranger may be involved. But in every case, there are details that do not fit neatly into any explanation. Today, we are exploring real locations where people have disappeared and were never found. These are not fictional stories or internet myths. They are documented cases tied to specific places that continue to puzzle investigators. As you listen, ask yourself this: if a place has a history of people entering and never returning, would you still feel safe walking through it? Stretching between Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, the Bermuda Triangle is one of the most famous mystery locations in the world. For decades, ships and aircraft have disappeared within its boundaries, often without sending distress signals. Pilots have reported compass failures. Ships have vanished in calm weather. In some cases, wreckage was never recovered. One of the most well-known incidents occurred in 1945 when 5 U.S. Navy training planes, known as Flight 19, disappeared during a routine exercise. The weather was clear when they took off. Radio communication became confused, and navigational instruments reportedly malfunctioned. The planes were never found. What makes the Bermuda Triangle especially unsettling is that some disappearances occurred in heavily traveled routes. This was not an unexplored region. Commercial ships passed through regularly. Skeptics argue that human error, weather patterns, and strong ocean currents explain the incidents. But there are problems with these explanations. Many experienced pilots and captains vanished without issuing warnings, and in several cases, conditions were reported as calm. Even modern technology has not fully solved the mystery. Despite satellite tracking and advanced navigation systems, aircraft and vessels have continued to report strange readings in the region. While some cases may have logical explanations, others remain unresolved. The Bermuda Triangle continues to stand as a place where people have entered and never returned. In southwestern Vermont lies a region known as the Bennington Triangle. Between the 1940s and 1950s, several people vanished under mysterious circumstances within this area. One of the most famous cases involved a young woman named Paula Weldon. In 1946, she went hiking on the Long Trail and was never seen again. Multiple search teams combed the area extensively. Nothing was found. In another case, an 8-year-old boy disappeared from his family's farm. Despite massive searches, no trace of him was ever discovered. Years later, an elderly man vanished while walking through the same region. What connects these cases is location. All disappearances occurred within a relatively small geographic area, and none were solved. The terrain itself is not especially dangerous. The trails are well known. The area is frequently visited by hikers. Yet the pattern of disappearances persists. Some believe the region's magnetic properties interfere with navigation. Others suspect hidden criminal activity, but no evidence has confirmed either theory. The Bennington Triangle remains one of America's most disturbing unsolved disappearance zones. Located in Romania, Hoia Baciu Forest is often referred to as the most haunted forest in the world. But beyond paranormal claims, there is a long history of people entering the forest and reporting strange experiences, or never returning. Visitors have reported time distortion, sudden nausea, and electronic malfunctions. Animals reportedly refuse to enter certain areas of the forest. Over the years, locals have documented cases of people going missing after entering Hoia Baciu. In some instances, individuals were later found miles away with no memory of how they got there. In other cases, people were never found at all. Search efforts often ended abruptly due to unexplained equipment failures. Compasses reportedly spun uncontrollably. GPS devices lost signal. While skeptics suggest environmental factors or psychological effects, the consistency of reports over decades raises serious questions. Hoia Baciu remains a place many locals refuse to enter, not because of legends, but because of real, unexplained events. In the Canadian Arctic lies Lake Anjikuni, the site of one of the most chilling disappearance stories in history. In the 1930s, a fur trapper reportedly discovered an Inuit village near the lake completely abandoned. Homes were intact, food supplies remained, even rifles and clothing were left behind. No signs of struggle were found, no bodies were discovered, and the villagers were never located. Later investigations questioned some details of the original report, but multiple accounts confirmed that something unusual occurred in the area. To this day, no confirmed explanation exists for what happened to the inhabitants of Lake Anjikuni. The harsh environment makes survival difficult, yet the lack of remains remains unexplained.
These places force us to confront a difficult truth. Not every disappearance has an answer. Some locations hold secrets that have resisted investigation for decades, whether due to natural danger, human interference, or something still unknown. These places continue to claim lives without explanation. The unsettling part is that many of these areas are still accessible today. People hike there, boats pass through, flights cross overhead, and yet the past remains unresolved. If stories like these challenge your understanding of reality, this channel explores real mysteries, unsolved cases, and unexplained locations every week. Subscribe to stay with us as we uncover more places where logic breaks down and answers disappear. And tell us in the comments, which place would you never dare to visit and why?